Today is July 12th, 2010, and today we're wrapping up on overcoming fear, and we're moving on specifically to a sleeping issue of how important sleep is. Dr. McIntyre will talk with us about that and give us some exercise work to help us with that. I wanted to read something coming out of the discussions on overcoming fear that I came across that is relevant to that. And, well, let me not read it directly, but the indirect quote is basically saying that we were born with just two fears. That is of falling and of noise. And that is by Dr. Murphy. He's a PhD and a DD. And it is from a book that he wrote called The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. So basically he suggests that any other kind of fear has been acquired. And therefore we should just unacquire it, for lack of a better word. I also want to read some affirmations, or really Psalms that I have found that I think are very relevant. They are in a book I have. Some of them are a section with regard specifically to fear, and then I want to end with a couple in the section that has to do with sleep. So let me pull this book here and tell you which one it is. It's called The Right Prayers for Every Need. And I don't think they actually listed an author because it basically has information from the Bible and probably some multiple authors that added some interpretations to it. Let me see if I can find the publisher. It is by Publications International Limited. The first one here that I bookmarked says, "Those who love me, I will deliver. I will protect those who know my name. When they call to me, I will answer them. I will be with them in trouble. I will rescue them and honor them." That is from Psalm 91. The second one, to do with fear, says, according to John, Jesus said, "Peace I leave with you. My peace I give to you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not let them be afraid."
Hello again, my name is Dr. Charles McIntyre, and I'm with you for this week's focus, which is on sleep. Probably the most powerful tool that you can have to combat being a target is to be able to sleep well at night or during the day, whenever you do your sleeping. And today I want to go through the various exercises that will help you and develop a pattern that will enable you to get a good rest. It's also a pattern that will enable you to accomplish other things, but primarily the focus this week is going to be on sleep. And the first thing I want you to do again is to take 3 deep breaths, in through your mouth and out through your mouth, slowly. 3 times. Then the 4th time, I want you to take a deep breath in and hold it for a few seconds and slowly release it through your nose. Now, with your feet flat on the floor and your hands comfortable in your lap or on arms of your chair, I want you to focus on your feet. In your mind, let's say that you have a television screen and you can get a picture of your feet. And your feet, you can see them and you can begin to feel them, and they feel very heavy. They feel tingly. I want you to feel your feet with your mind and the picture on your TV screen in your mind. They feel heavy and they feel tingly. Well, once they feel tingly and heavy, you can bring that tingling, heavy feeling up your legs, up your torso, across your shoulders, out your arms to your hands, until you can feel your fingers and they feel tingly and they feel heavy. Back up your arms and up your shoulders, up your neck, and across your face. And you can now feel any part of your body, and it feels tingly and heavy and relaxed. And this is a state of relaxation that's going to enable you to rest. And now that you've got your body relaxed, and you can feel any part of it with your television screen of your mind, I want you to place yourself in the most beautiful place on earth. Like I mentioned before, for some people it might be the beach, some people it might be the mountains, some people it might be with your grandchildren or your children, some people it might be in the garden. Put yourself in the most beautiful place on earth, and you will drift off to sleep in a state of relaxation that will enable you to deal with targeting in a different way. And it's so critical and so important that you get a good rest. Thank you for being with me today.
Hello. Well, to continue with the second part regarding sleep, let me grab this book again and quote from Psalm 121, "He who keeps you will not slumber." I'll repeat that. "He who keeps you will not slumber." The importance of that for me is that when I was being more heavily targeted, that was in and around 2007, I was afraid to fall asleep. I was living alone at the time, for one thing, and I don't recommend that because it makes you more vulnerable to targeting. And I felt like there was no one to watch over me. Well, I no longer feel that way because at the very least our higher power is always watching over us. And finally, there's a quote here from Psalm 127. It says, "It is in vain that you rise up early and go late to rest, eating the bread of anxious toil, for he gives sleep to his beloved." I'll repeat the last part, "for he gives sleep to his beloved." So basically the significance of that to me is that God has given us as a gift and a necessity for a proper life, sleep, and therefore who are we to refuse it? So please, everyone, I hope that you can manage to get a good night's sleep in the night if possible. I know some people, however, are working the night shift, and then do the best that you can during the day if you can't get that schedule turned around. I would like to note that a lack of sleep to an extreme, so sleep deprivation, can actually lead to full-blown psychosis, even if it may just be temporary. Certainly no one who's being targeted in particular, but anyone, no one at all needs that. So I hope that, that you find this section helpful, and I look forward to seeing you again next time. Bye-bye. You know that God and God's angels are helping you. Everything will be fine. Hello. Well, this concludes this week's installment to the Freedom of Mind series. I hope you found it very helpful. And there is one thing I'd like to add, well actually a couple of things, about overcoming fear and the importance of sleep, because I think they're related. So that's number one. Keep in mind that they are related. It is harder to overcome fear and to not feel fearful when one is run down from lack of sleep. Okay, in fact, I'm sure that's a reason that the perpetrators make a deliberate effort to keep targets sleep deprived. So therefore it's important that we, as individuals and as people who've received a bequest from God to get proper sleep as best as we can, it's important that we do that. So thank you, many blessings, and I look forward to seeing you next week.